My child, I know you've been carrying this weight for a long time. The guilt, the shame, that tight knot in your chest that doesn't seem to go away. No matter how many times you replay the moment or whisper apologies into the silence, you keep going back, trying to rewrite it in your mind, wishing you could undo it, or at least understand why it happened like that. I see it. Every time you've closed your eyes and thought, why did I do that? Or, how could I mess up like that? I've been there. I've been listening. You've asked me for forgiveness. Some of you once, some of you over and over again. And I've answered you over and over again too. I want you to hear this with your whole heart, not just your ears. I have forgiven you completely. No loopholes, no hidden strings, no fine print in the back. I didn't forgive you reluctantly, like I was forced to let it go. I didn't forgive you halfway, waiting to see if you'd prove yourself. I forgave you because love is who I am. Mercy is my nature. Grace is my gift. But here's the part that's still catching you up, isn't it? You haven't forgiven yourself. You're still carrying what I already buried. Still holding on to what I already tore off of you. It's like you're standing outside a prison cell with the door wide open. But you're still gripping the bars. Why is that? Do you believe that your judgment of yourself is stronger than mine? Do you think the shame you've wrapped around your soul somehow does more good than the mercy I'm offering you? Child, when my son said, "It is finished," he wasn't kidding. He meant it. Every mistake, every failure, every secret regret you keep locked away. All of it. Finished. You don't have to bleed for what I already bled for. I'm not asking you to work for forgiveness. I'm inviting you to rest in it. To stop trying to fix what I already made whole. To let my grace in, deep, past your mind, into your soul, until even the memory of your mistake starts to lose its sting. And I know you're scared that if you let yourself off the hook, it means you're taking it lightly. You think that forgiving yourself means you're forgetting the weight of what happened. But forgiveness doesn't erase memory. It just removes the poison. You'll still remember, but now with grace instead of grief. Forgiveness means looking back at the scar and saying, that was real, that hurt, but it's healed now, and I'm still standing. You think that punishing yourself honors the pain you caused, that if you keep hurting, maybe it makes up for the hurt you gave. But hear me, pain doesn't redeem pain. Love does, transformation does, growth does, humility does. That quiet shift you've made in how you speak to others, how you carry yourself, how you listen. That's the fruit of real repentance. I see it in you. Don't think I've missed it. And it makes me proud. You're not the person you were. In that moment, you've learned, you've changed, you've wept and wrestled and woken up in the middle of the night asking me to make you new. I heard every one of those cries. So now I'm asking you, will you believe me when I say I already have Let's stop rehearsing the wound. Let's stop defining you by your worst moment. I never did. I never will. I define you by my love. By who you are to me. By the story I'm still writing in you. The one no mistake can cancel. You're not disqualified. You're not damaged goods. You are chosen. You are held. You are mine. And I don't hold grudges. I don't keep records. I'm not waiting to throw it in your face. That's not who I am. What I do hold is you. I hold every part of you, even the ones you're ashamed of. I don't flinch. I don't pull away. I stay, always. So why do you keep pulling away from yourself? You say you trust me, but you don't trust my forgiveness. You believe I've forgiven you, but then you keep trying to pay a debt I already cleared. Child, that's not humility. That's fear wearing a mask. And I want to speak directly to that fear. It has no place here. Perfect love, my love, drives it out. If this is speaking to you, go ahead and like this video. Let's keep this moment between us. You and me. Now, take a breath. Not just physically. Breathe deep in your soul. Let my words wash over you. Inhale my grace. Exhale the guilt. Inhale my peace. Exhale the weight. You don't need to carry it anymore. It's not yours. I already carried it for you. But I don't feel forgiven, you say. I know. I hear that all the time. But let me remind you, your feelings are real, yes, but they're not always telling you the truth. Feelings are waves. They rise, they crash, they pass. But my word stands steady through it all. And my word says this: there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. That includes you. So when those memories sneak up again, when the enemy whispers, "See, you're still that person," or your own mind starts dragging you through it all again, I want you to say out loud, if you need to, "That's not who I am anymore. God forgave me. I forgive me too. It may take time. It may take repeating it more than once. But keep coming back to the truth. Forgiveness isn't a feeling. It's a fact. You're not trying to earn a pardon. You already have it. So now the healing is this: letting go. Not to forget what happened, but to stop letting it define who you are. If it helps, picture this: me looking you in the eyes, calm, kind, not angry. I reach out and I hand you something. It's a piece of paper. On it is everything you've been beating yourself up about. All of it. And right across the middle of it, I've written one word: paid. In full. No debt remains. You're free. Will you receive that? Will you stop trying to earn what I already gave? Will you forgive yourself? Just like I have. There's still so much I want to show you. Subscribe now so you don't miss any of it. You came here for a reason. Maybe you didn't even know why, but I did. And now that we're here, don't let this moment slip away. You don't have to go back to the old thoughts, the old stories, the old shame. Stay here with me. Let's walk forward now, not backward, because your story isn't over, and I'm not finished speaking. Tell me what's been on your heart lately. Drop it in the comments, I'm listening. Let's go deeper, because I know how sneaky shame can be. Even after hearing all this, after feeling the weight lift just a little, you still find yourself slipping back into the old thoughts, don't you? The ones that say, yeah, but what I did still matters. Or other people might forgive me, but I know what I deserve. Let me say something gently but clearly. You're not the judge of what you deserve. I am, and I already decided. I looked at the full picture of your life, every moment, every choice, every hidden wound, and I still said yes. Yes to mercy. Yes to grace. Yes to redemption. I knew exactly what I was getting into when I chose you. And I still chose you. Eyes wide open. I'm not surprised by your failures. I'm not shocked by your weaknesses. I don't regret saving you. You haven't worn out my patience or tested the limits of my love. You can't. It's not possible. You still think you're too much for me? Too broken? Too late? I made you. You are not too much for me. Listen, I saw your whole story before it began. I saw the parts you're proud of, and the parts you hope no one ever finds out. And I still called you mine. I still believed in who you'd become. Not just the version that has it all together. The you that's trying. The you that weeps when no one's looking. The you that wrestles and stumbles and gets back up again. You've been so hard on yourself. You carry this idea that being sorry enough somehow earns you forgiveness. But sorrow isn't a transaction. You don't have to bleed for this anymore. I already did. There's no more penance. Just presence. Just me, with you, here now. Let me be enough for you. And if you feel like you've said sorry 1,000 times and it's still not enough, maybe the next thing to say is thank you. Not thank you to yourself, but to me. Because where your ability ends, mine begins. I know it's hard to accept what you don't think you deserve. But that's what makes it grace. And grace is meant to be received, not resisted. So try this. The next time the voice in your head says, I can't believe I did that, answer it with this: but God already knew, and He still forgave me. The next time shame tries to speak louder than hope, turn down its volume by speaking truth out loud. Sometimes healing sounds like a whisper. I'm not that person anymore. I'm forgiven. I'm still loved. I'm still here. You don't have to shout it. Just speak it. Truth carries its own power. And maybe deep down, you're still waiting for someone else to free you. For someone else to say you're okay now. That it's over. That it's done. But listen, I'm the one who has that authority. I already declared it finished. You don't need a second opinion. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean pretending it didn't matter. It means you've decided not to live trapped in that moment anymore. You are allowed to move on. You are allowed to feel peace again. You are allowed to smile without guilt shadowing it. You are allowed to love and be loved without wondering if you're still disqualified. Because here's the truth. I'm not holding it against you. And if I'm not, Why are you? What would it look like if you really let yourself live like you're forgiven? Imagine waking up without that weight. Not in denial, not pretending, just free, just grounded in grace. Would you talk to yourself differently? Would you stop repeating the same harsh stories in your head? Would you finally breathe a little deeper? You can. You really can. And I'll walk with you as you learn how. If this is reaching you, stay close. Subscribe so you can hear what I whisper next. You don't have to do this alone. I want to speak truth into your thoughts, over and over, until it starts to sound more familiar than the shame. Until you start to believe it without flinching. That's how renewal happens. Not overnight, but day by day, breath by breath. You don't have to earn love. You only need to receive it. And I know, maybe you felt like if you let go of the guilt, you're letting someone else off the hook. Too. Maybe someone hurt you, or you hurt them, and the wound still feels open. But forgiveness, real forgiveness, doesn't excuse what happened. It just refuses to let it define what happens next. Tell me, what's been on your heart lately? Drop it in the comments. I'm listening. Even in this moment, some of you are feeling torn. Part of you wants to believe me. The other part is clinging to the guilt, like it's your identity. Like without it, you won't know who you are. But that's not who you are. You are not your worst moment. You are not your failure. You are not the mistake. You are the person who lived through it. The one who cried out for me. The one I picked up off the floor. The one I loved before, during, and after. And that means something. That means you're not disqualified. You're living proof that grace works, that mercy reaches deep. That redemption is more than just a word. It's a reality. You're not who you were. You're becoming. So please, let's not waste any more time in regret. There's life to live, joy to rediscover, purpose that's still calling your name. I want you to walk in that. I want you to know what it feels like to walk unburdened, not because you ignored what happened, but because you gave it to me. And I know what to do with it. You don't. You were never meant to carry the burden of being your own savior. That's not your job. That's mine. Your job is to walk forward with open hands and a soft heart, knowing that you are loved, even here, especially here. Can you feel me near? I'm not on the other side of your shame, waiting for you to get it together. I'm here, in the middle of it, holding you, covering you, speaking gently. Let's stop feeding the lies, the ones that say you'll always be broken or you'll never change. That's not me talking. I speak life. I speak truth. I speak love that doesn't back down. And I'm speaking now. You are clean. You are loved. You are mine. Don't wander too far. Subscribe. And let's keep walking this road together. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but what about the people I've hurt? That's honest. That matters. And yes, there may be conversations to have, amends to make, healing to offer. I'll be with you through that too. But your ability to make it right with others doesn't determine whether you're forgiven by me. I already forgave you. Full stop. Their healing matters, but it's not your job to carry their response. Just walk in truth, walk in love, walk in humility, and let me do what only I can do, in you and in them. And remember, forgiveness doesn't mean pretending everything's okay when it's not. It just means you're giving me access to the wound so I can begin the healing. Because wounds don't heal well when we keep picking at them with guilt. You've been forgiven. Now it's time to live like it. So I ask ye, you again, can you forgive yourself? Not in arrogance, not in denial, but in surrender, because I've already set you free. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here, child. And I always will be. Now listen closely, because you're still learning to live free. And I know that doesn't always feel natural yet, does it? You've worn guilt like armor for so long that grace can feel uncomfortable, like walking barefoot after years in heavy boots. At first it's awkward, maybe even painful, but it's real. It's honest. It's where healing starts. You've spent so much time rehearsing the things you wish you could go back and change. You think, if only I had known better, or I should have seen it coming. But child, you didn't know. You were doing the best you could with what you had at the time. I saw that, and even when you didn't get it right, when your words cut too deep, or you made the wrong choice, or you froze when you should have stepped up, I didn't stop loving you. I didn't stop staying. You think your past disqualifies you, but I've used broken people from the very beginning. I've woven beauty from ashes more times than you know. And I'll do it again. With you. But first, you have to stop disqualifying yourself. You've been treating your forgiveness like it's fragile, as if one wrong move will shatter it. But it's not. My grace isn't made of glass. It's made of blood and resurrection and unshakable love. You don't have to tiptoe around me, afraid you'll ruin everything. You can breathe around me. You can be human here. There's no version of your healing that requires you to be perfect. I never asked you for perfection. I asked you to come close. That's always been what I wanted most. Closeness, intimacy. You and me, no walls, no hiding, just honesty. You've already tried punishing yourself into peace. It didn't work, did it? Because peace doesn't grow in a soil of shame. It needs grace. It needs my voice whispering louder than the lies in your head. And here's the truth again. I forgave you freely, fully, forever. And now I'm asking you to trust that. To stop revisiting what I already redeemed. You can't move forward while staring over your shoulder. That's why guilt keeps you stuck. It's always dragging you backward into a moment I already covered. Look at me instead. Keep your eyes here. Because I'm not looking at your past. I'm looking at your heart. And I love what I see. Even in the mess. Even in the questions. Even in the places you still don't understand. Yes, you've made mistakes. But you've also made it here. You've grown. You've softened. You've called out my name in the dark. That matters to me more than you know. You are not defined by the worst thing you've done. You are defined by the best thing I've done. And I did it for you. Let me ask you something personal. What would change if you really believed me? If you believed you were already forgiven, already accepted, already loved, how would you treat yourself? Would you finally stop talking to yourself like an enemy? Would you stop replaying that one moment in your head like a punishment? Would you give yourself the same compassion you give everyone else? Because here's what I see. You're so kind to others. You see the best in them. You give them the benefit of the doubt. You speak grace over their messes. But when it comes to yourself, the tone changes. You get colder, sharper, crueler even. Why? Why do you think you're the one person grace can't hold? You're not. You never were. You're exactly who it's for. So start there. Start small. Maybe it's one kind thought today. Maybe it's letting yourself rest instead of rehearsing the guilt again. Maybe it's whispering, I forgive myself. Even if your voice shakes. That's where healing begins. Not with grand declarations, but with soft steps. If this is speaking to you, go ahead and like this video. Let's keep this space sacred. Just between us. You've been trying to earn what I already gave. But child, there's nothing left to earn. This isn't about performance. It's about presence. It's about waking up tomorrow and choosing to believe that I'm still with you. Still for you. Still in you. Even when you don't feel it. Even when the mirror still shows some cracks. I'm not afraid of your process. I'm walking with you through it. So don't rush to move on. Healing isn't a race. It's a relationship. One step, one breath, one day at a time. There's beauty in that. In the slowness, in the honesty, in the way you're beginning to open your hands after all this time clenched tight. That's it. That's the work. That's the miracle, actually. You're not the same person who made that mistake. And you never will be again. And that's something to celebrate. You're growing. You're leaning in. You're becoming more tender, more aware, more whole. That's what grace does. It doesn't just erase your past. It transforms your future. Tell me, what do you need to let go of today? What memory keeps trying to climb back in? Drop it in the comments. I'm listening. And I'll be right here when you do. Now, some of you still feel like you've ruined your chance. That maybe I forgave you, sure, but that I've moved on to someone else. Someone more faithful, more obedient, less messy. But hear me, I don't operate like that. I don't jump ship when you struggle. I don't replace you when you fail. I pursue you. I stay. I hold on tighter when you feel like letting go. You haven't ruined your calling. You haven't missed your moment. As long as you're breathing, I'm still working. You can still become the person you were created to be. Not in spite of your wounds, but through them. Because I redeem everything I touch, even that. Especially that. So instead of replaying the moment you failed, come sit with me and let me show you what I've been building beneath the surface. You think nothing has changed. But I've been planting seeds the whole time, and when the time is right, they'll bloom. Stay close to me, child. Stay open, stay soft, and please, forgive yourself. You've been dragging this shadow behind you long enough. Let it fall. Let the light in. I'm not asking you to fake joy. Just don't block it anymore. Let joy find you. Let peace settle where panic used to live. Let love speak louder than guilt. You were meant to hear this, and there's more. Subscribe now to stay in step with me. You've got a future to walk into, and I'll walk every step with you. Let me keep talking to your heart, because I know how deep some of this pain runs. It's not just about the moment you regret. It's about what it changed, what it cost. Maybe it shifted a relationship. Maybe it altered the path you thought you were on. Maybe it made you question yourself. And ever since then, something in you's been a little quieter, a little more guarded, like some part of your spirit sat down and never got back up. I see that, and I want you to hear this clearly. That part of you, I'm not leaving it behind. I'm going back for it. You don't have to keep limping through life, thinking this is as good as it gets. I want you whole again, not pretending, not performing, not polished, just whole, honest, real. And it starts here, in this moment, where you finally stop punishing yourself for being human. You made a mistake. That's true. But you are not a mistake. Let that settle. You are not your worst decision. You are not the thing you did. You are not the apology you're still waiting to receive. You are not the silence you received when you needed understanding. You are mine, and you don't have to keep shrinking to fit into the guilt. You don't have to keep pretending that what I did for you somehow wasn't enough. Let me tell you something you might not believe yet. I delight in you. Yes, you. Even here. Even with all of this still unfolding. Not because you got it all right. Not because you've paid your dues. But because you are mine. I formed you. I shaped you. I've walked with you through every season. Every high and low, and I have never loved you less. You keep wondering when I'm going to give up on you. I won't. You keep wondering when I'll change my mind about you. I won't. My love is not a mood. It's not a reward. It's not based on your track record. It's who I am. It's who I'll always be. That's why forgiveness flows so freely from me. Because love does. I know this feels hard. Letting go always does at first. But you're not letting go into nothing. You're letting go into me, into my hands, into safety, into the kind of peace that doesn't need everything to make sense to be real. So here's what I want you to do. Give me the guilt. All of it. The guilt from what you said. The guilt from what you didn't say. The guilt from the timing, the choices, the moments you froze. The guilt that sneaks in even when you're trying to move on. Hand it to me. I know what to do with it. And when you start reaching for it again, because you might, don't shame yourself. Just remember, it's not yours anymore, it's mine. I took it willingly. You don't have to steal it back. You're allowed to be light again. You're allowed to laugh again. You're allowed to feel joy without it being some betrayal of the past. I know you're afraid of losing your sense of justice. That if you stop carrying the guilt, you'll forget the lessons. But that's not how I work. I write truth on your heart, not with shame, but with love. And love sticks better. You don't need guilt to stay grounded. You need grace. So lean into it. Let it wash over you like a warm rain on cracked ground. Let it soften the parts of you that got hardened by regret. Let it fill the gaps you thought no one could reach. You're not who you were, even if you're still in process. Even if you're still healing, you're not who you were. Let me keep reminding you of that. Every time you start slipping back into the old narrative, pause. Look up. Remember what I've spoken. My voice is the one that calls you forward. If you're still here listening, it means something. Go ahead and like this video if any of this is resonating. You're not just watching, you're being drawn. Let's hold this space together. You're not meant to stay stuck in what happened. You're meant to live free, and that includes forgiving yourself. I know it doesn't happen overnight, but you're doing it right now. One thought at a time. One brave breath at a time. One moment of saying, I'm more than what I did. And you are. You're more than the hurt, more than the memory, more than the fallout. You are a living picture of redemption. And if you keep walking, if you keep trusting me, people will look at your life and not just see the mess. They'll see the miracle. They'll see the mercy. They'll see me. And isn't that what you really want? To live in a way that reveals my heart? Then start with receiving it yourself. You can't give what you haven't received. You've shown so much grace to others. Now let's turn that kindness inward. Not out of pride, out of obedience, out of humility, out of love. Let me love you through your own resistance. Let me carry the pieces you're tired of holding. Let me speak a better word over you than the one your thoughts keep rehearsing. You are clean. You are covered. You are free. If you need to hear it again, I'll keep saying it. I never get tired of reminding you who you are to me. And maybe today's the day you finally start believing it. Don't keep me at arm's length. I'm not afraid of your broken places. In fact, those are the places where my love rushes in the fastest. And even if all you can do today is whisper, okay, maybe, that's enough. That's the door opening. If all you have is the courage to say, I want to believe this, then that's what I'll meet. I'll fill in the rest. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stay close. Every time you return, I'll be here. Subscribe, and I'll keep drawing near. There's no expiration date on my grace. No limit to how many times I'll say, come back. Try again. You're still mine. Tell me, is there something you've been afraid to forgive in yourself? You don't have to carry that alone. leave it in the comments. I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. Now listen, because this is important. Some of you have tied your forgiveness to outcomes. You say, I'll forgive myself when I fix it, when they understand, when I make it right. But that's not how healing works. You can't wait on someone else's response to set your soul free. Forgiveness isn't about control. It's about release. It's about saying, I trust God more than I trust this guilt. It's about stepping into the life I bought for you, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. Raw, restored. You can walk away from shame and still carry love. You can grieve what was and still rejoice in what is. You can hold sorrow in one hand and freedom in the other. That's what healing looks like. It's not all clean lines and easy endings. It's messy and beautiful and sacred. And I'm with you through every part of it. So don't give up now. Don't stop just because it still hurts sometimes. You're healing. You're moving. You're becoming. And you're doing it with me. This isn't the end. It's just the beginning. Subscribe so we can keep going together. Let's keep going. Because even now, as you listen, I know there's still a quiet corner inside you holding back. A place where the guilt still whispers. Where you wonder, but what if I mess up again? Or, what if I forgive myself too soon, and I haven't fully paid for it yet? Can I be honest with you? You don't need to pay. You never could. And that's not a flaw. It's grace. Grace says it was never about your ability to make it up to me. Grace says I already made it right. Not by ignoring your sin, but by confronting it. At the cross, that's where justice met mercy. That's where your debt ended and your freedom began. I saw the full cost. I didn't look away. And I still said yes. So now let go of the idea that your pain somehow earns you peace. It doesn't. That's not how my kingdom works. You think carrying this guilt proves how sorry you are. But listen, true repentance isn't about staying in sorrow. It's about letting sorrow lead you back to me and then letting me lift you up again. And I want to lift you. I didn't rescue you so you could sit in the ashes forever. I rescued you so you could rebuild on a foundation of truth, not torment. You are forgiven. You are clean. You are mine. And I will keep saying that until you finally believe it. Even when the old shame tries to slip back in. Even when someone else reminds you of who you used to be. Even when your own thoughts betray you, I'll still be here whispering the truth louder. You're not who you were. You're not stuck. You are not condemned. I'm not holding that moment against you, child. Why? Are you? If this still feels hard to believe, that's okay. I'm not in a rush. Healing isn't about speed, it's about honesty. And you're being honest right now. That matters. That moves me. What would happen if, just for today, you stopped punishing yourself? Just for today. What if you let yourself rest without guilt? Smile without apology? Hope without shame? That's not denial. That's faith. That's trust in me. And maybe, just maybe, It's time to trust that the work I've started in you is actually working, even when you can't see it, even when it doesn't feel like progress. I don't waste anything. Not the pain, not the process, not even the silence. And I know sometimes silence can be the hardest part. You think I'm far away because the healing feels slow, but I'm closer than ever. I'm in the pause. I'm in the breath. I'm in that moment where you exhale a little deeper than usual and realize you're not as heavy as you were yesterday. That's me. That's grace doing its work. Little by little, layer by layer, I'm rebuilding you. If this is reaching you, stay close. Subscribe so you can keep hearing what I whisper next. You don't have to chase your worth anymore. It's already settled, already spoken for. You are valuable, not because of what you do, not because of how well you perform, but because I breathed my life into you, because you bear my image, because you're still here, still listening, still choosing to lean in. That matters. That's beautiful to me. Tell me, is there something you still feel like you need to make up for? Lay it down. Comment it below if you're ready. I'll meet you there. And even if you're not ready, I'll stay right here. You don't have to earn my love back. You never lost it. You might have walked away in your mind, but I never took my eyes off you, not for a second. Even in your worst moment, I was near. Not with anger, not with distance, with love. With grief, yes, because I care deeply, but never with abandonment. You've never been alone in this. You never will be. That thing you did, it doesn't cancel your identity, that failure. It doesn't override your future. That voice in your head that keeps saying you'll never change, it's lying. It's not me. I speak life. I speak healing. I speak freedom. And freedom isn't just some vague spiritual idea, it's real. It's practical. It's you being able to look in the mirror and not flinch. It's you laughing without waiting for guilt to interrupt. It's you sitting in quiet and not being haunted by what you can't undo. That's freedom, and it's yours, so why not receive it? Why not let that be your new starting point? Not shame, not punishment, not earning, but grace, but love, but me. You keep thinking, if I forgive myself, it means what I didn't matter. No, it means I've already redeemed it. You keep thinking, if I move on, it means I didn't care enough. But moving on doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you trust me enough to carry what you can't. That's not avoidance. That's surrender. And I honor surrender. I meet it with power. You were never meant to carry this weight for a lifetime. So put it down, love. Let me carry it. Let me carry you. Let's start telling a new story. Not the one where you're forever paying for a past I already forgave, but the one where you begin again. Yes, again. Again is holy. Again is allowed. Again is grace. There's still more to uncover, more to rebuild. Subscribe now and let's keep walking this out together. And let's talk about that voice in your head, the one that says, You'll never get past this. The one that says you've gone too far. That voice isn't me. I don't speak with fear. I don't speak with shame. I don't use guilt to motivate you. I speak with peace, with gentleness, with conviction that frees, not condemnation that crushes. So if you hear a voice inside that sounds like despair, that's not me. If you hear one that sounds like love, even in correction, that's me. My voice builds. My voice calls you out of the grave. My voice calls you beloved, even while you're still in process, even if no one else sees the progress. Even if you don't yet, I do. I see the softening of your heart. I see the way you pause now before reacting. I see the way you pray under your breath when the guilt tries to rise again. Those little shifts matter more than you know. They're the proof that you're not the same. Not because you've worked harder, but because you've let me in deeper. And I'm not done, so keep letting me in. Keep showing up. Keep trusting that my grace goes further than your failure. You came here for a reason. Subscribe now and keep that door open between us. This journey we're on, it's not about pretending everything's fine. It's about being real enough to say, I still struggle, and trusting that I'll still stay. And I will. You've heard a lot of voices. Some wounded you, some twisted the truth. But hear mine now, pure and steady. I forgive you, I love you. I am with you, and I'm not going anywhere. Let's keep going. Because even though you've heard me say it over and over, you're forgiven, you still hesitate to fully believe it. And that's okay. You're not slow. You're not failing. You're healing. Healing takes time. Belief takes repetition. Trust takes presence. And I'm not going anywhere. I'll keep showing up, whispering what's true until the noise fades. Because you need to hear it more than once. Maybe 100 times. Maybe 1,000. That doesn't bother me. I'm not counting how many times it takes. I'm counting the moments you turn toward me, how your heart softens a little more each time. That's what I'm watching. That's what I love. So let's go back to it again, because I can see it still lingering. That tightness, that voice that says, but I still feel unworthy. I want to gently take that thought from your hands. Unworthy of what? Love? Grace? Fresh start? You never had to be worthy. That's not how I work. I don't give based on merit. I give based on love. And love gives freely. Always has. Always will. You're still thinking in the language of earning, of deserving. But I want you to think in the language of receiving. Open hands. Open heart. No checklist. That's the posture of freedom. That's the posture of someone who knows. The cross did the heavy lifting, not their own striving. You don't have to keep performing repentance. You don't have to keep proving you're sorry enough. Your sorrow brought you to me. That's all it ever needed to do. Now let my mercy do the rest. Stop punishing yourself for what I've already forgiven. That voice in your head that keeps replaying the scene as if watching it again will finally pay the price. I want you to notice something. Every time it plays, where am I? Am I in the scene? If not, invite me in. Because when I enter that memory, when you let me step into that space you've kept locked away, I don't bring judgment. I bring light. I bring healing. I bring a holy rewriting. Let me show you what I saw when that moment happened. I didn't just see the mistake, I saw the pain that led up to it. The confusion, the fear, the silence you didn't know how to break. I saw it all, and I didn't flinch. I didn't walk away. I stayed. I'm still staying. And the moment you invite me into that memory, really let me in, you'll start to feel the chains fall. One by one, until all that's left is peace. It may not happen in one day, but it will happen. I'm not in a rush. You don't have to rush either. Take your time. Let each truth land softly. Let each breath come easier. Let each day of walking in freedom feel more normal than the last. And yes, some days you'll forget. You'll fall back into the old patterns. You'll hear that voice again. You're not really free. And that's okay. Just don't stay there. Come back. Come back to my voice. Come back to grace. Come back to me. Let's not lose this moment. Subscribe, and I'll keep showing up for you. And maybe you're wondering, what now? What do I do after I forgive myself? What does life look like on the other side of shame? I'll tell you. It looks like gentleness with yourself, with others, with every broken thing you used to approach with anger, or perfectionism, or fear. It looks like walking through your day without carrying 1,000 invisible weights. It looks like not over-apologizing for just existing. It looks like choosing peace, even when your mind tries to grab for punishment. It looks like this quiet confidence that says, I'm loved, I'm held, I'm free. Not because of what I've done, but because of what He did. Tell me, what would freedom look like for you right now? Write it in the comments. I want to hear you speak it into the light. This is the season where I'm teaching you how to walk again. Not from pressure, from peace. How to get up without groaning from the guilt. How to face people without shrinking. How to love others without constantly second-guessing if you're good enough to even be there. You are. You're good enough to be loved. Good enough to be forgiven. Good enough to be used, yes. Even now, even after all of it. Because I don't just forgive. I restore. I restore confidence. I restore dreams. I restore relationships. I restore your sense of self, piece by piece, until you can look in the mirror and recognize the person staring back. Not because she's perfect, not because he never failed, but because you finally see what I've seen all along. Someone worth redeeming, and I'm not finished, not even close. So stay with me, stay in the flow of my spirit. Keep choosing love over shame. Keep choosing light over fear.